Hey guys, I want to talk today a little bit about some of the kind of must-have implements for your tractor. Um, Depending on the size of your tractor and obviously the land that you're working, is going to dictate what you're really going to need. But for me, I've got about 2.5 acres that I need to mow. So kind of goes without say, one of the must-haves pretty much for any tractor is a bush hog, which is what I'm sitting on now. Bush hog is a brand name, but it's just a rotary cutter like this. Mounts to the 3-point, drags behind the tractor. My tractor does have a mid PTO, so I can put a belly mower on it, but this particular one is a 4-foot and does great with my 24 horsepower tractor. Um, some people say you need a real finish mower, either a 3-point mounted one or a belly mower, just because you get much faster blade speed and it gives you a nicer cut. For me, this thing does fine for the nice grass that's right up against the house. I'll use a push mower for that, just because I don't want to operate the tractor with the loader really all that close to the house. So, I've looked at a belly mower or a 3-point finish mower, and even a used one is like $1,000, $1,200. New ones are close to $2,000 for a good one, and for me it's just not worth it. I get a good enough cut with my bush hog, or rotary cutter, and it does good enough. And for me, for the amount of grass that we have here, it takes me 3 hours probably to do it all, and that includes using the push mower up around the house and probably doing a lap around the house with the weed whacker. Some of the other sort of essential things, attachments that I have for my tractor, a lot of people say that you absolutely have to have a box blade. My tractor came with a box blade originally, and I opted to not get it because I don't do that much grading. We had a lot of dirt and stuff around here, but mostly when I cleared this lot, it was completely overgrown with pines, and that's the next video that's coming. A little conversation about pine trees and what I have to deal with around here. But the implement that I got in place of the box blade was this guy right here. This is a 4-foot landscape rake. It's tilted up right now, but kind of get the idea. I'll set it down like this. It's got these really heavy duty spring-loaded tines. You can spin it around obviously both ways, so that you can just drag it behind the tractor, or spin it into the position that it is now, where you can push material backwards and pile it up. I have used that thing, I can't even tell you how much. That is other than the mower, that is my number one most used implement, and you can do an unbelievable amount of stuff with it, from where you've cleared land and you just have tons of rocks and roots and sticks and just junk that you want to get up before you put down grass seed. That is an unbelievably great tool to have. It's also quite heavy, and when you just need to have some weight on the back of the tractor, and you don't want to have the mower sticking 7 feet out and back, this thing is great. I mean, it probably weighs 200 pounds, and when you have it swung with the tines closer into the tractor, it doesn't stick out real far. It gives you a good amount of weight on the back. And what I've actually done, if you take a look at the shape of this thing, when I'm lifting real heavy stuff, I actually have a log, like a 5-foot section of tree, that has more or less the same radius as these tines right here, and I'll back right up to that log, and I'll throw a couple of tie-down straps around it and pick it up with a 3-point hitch, and that adds probably another 300 pounds at least to the back of the tractor, and it makes the tractor super stable and makes you able to lift you know, pretty much anything that your loader can handle. Because if you don't have enough weight on the back of the tractor and you're trying to pick up heavy stuff, like we had gravel delivered for the driveway, and when I was spreading that gravel, you know, that setup was perfect. You know, without that weight hanging off the back, you've got basically no weight on your rear tires. I mean, you have to have really four-wheel drive anyway if you have a loader. Don't buy a two-wheel drive tractor with a loader. It's just a nightmare. You have not enough weight on the rear tires almost all the time. You know, you really have to have a four-wheel drive tractor. So that landscape rake has been absolutely essential for me. I use it all the time. Even in the fall, when I'll go around with my backpack blower and blow leaves, you know, into big rows as high as I can pile them with the leaf blower. I'll come through with that landscape rake and just push it all down into the woods, or pile it all up into a giant compost pile, or you name it. And even in the fall, when I'm done with the vegetable garden, I'll run over it with that, and it's like, you know, it just levels the ground. It takes all the furrows down, it cuts them all down, makes it all smooth and level again. And it's such a wonderful multi-purpose tool. You know, I swear by it, and I'll take that over a box blade any day. The next thing, most people have probably not seen one of these. This is called a subsoiler. And basically what this is, it's a little bit like a middle buster, and sometimes you'll see a 2-in-1 where you can change out this blade and put a bigger blade on it, like what you see on a middle buster. But the shank on this is much longer, and it goes down into the ground much lower. And what this is fantastic for is if you have, I've used it for lots of stuff, but typically anytime I'm going to be cultivating new soil for the vegetable garden, that's you know, if you have a lot of soil compaction, like if you've got farmland where there's been livestock for years and years and years, and the hooves of cows or horses have been, oh, sorry guys, the dogs are going crazy back here. Or you've just had equipment or tractors driven over a certain area, and the soil has just become so compacted that nothing ever grows there. It's rock hard. You know, if you have a pasture where you have drainage problems, where you've got standing water after a rain, you hook that subsoiler up to your tractor and you do a few passes, and it's just fantastic, because it breaks up that soil and it lets that moisture get down into the soil. So that's another one that's absolutely fantastic. It's also great for if you cut down some pine trees, as I've been doing, or really any trees, and you want to get that root ball out. If you drop that thing in like a hashtag pattern around the stump, it'll cut those roots all around it and makes it pretty easy to get that root ball up out of the ground. And the last attachment, which you've probably seen in one of the other videos, is my middle buster. I got that in place of a regular bottom plow. You can buy a middle buster like that for, a couple $100 at, Tractor Supply, or used at your, online or wherever you find them, but much cheaper than the bottom plow. That's this guy right here. It works great as a plow, just for turning soil. And, a lot of people call them potato plows because they use them if you plant potatoes. You just run that blade right through the middle of your furrow, and it brings all of the potatoes up to the top, and then you just literally walk behind and pick them up. So that's all I got. It's those 4 attachments for my tractor. But besides the loader, that's it. Those are the ones you really want to have. Only other piece of advice is keep an extra top link. This is a nice short top link that I use primarily with the middle buster. This is the one that came with the tractor, but the one that's on there now is a much longer, more heavy duty one. I actually broke a short one that came with the tractor because I had it extended all the way out, and it literally just snapped where the threads go in. So that's it. Leave comments, give me a like, and subscribe to the channel. More videos to follow. Let me know if you have any questions or anything else about what we do around here. That's all I got. So hope that's helpful, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.